Let's not do the whole intro thing.
Okay. Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. Glad
yeah.
to be here in Laguna. It's fun.
Yeah, some little halfway point. You have such a wide range of influences, it feels like, and ways of expression. Like, I'm hearing kind of like Baroque elements, like in Unlovable.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Like, did you have classical training?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was I was classically trained. So I stopped at 19 because I developed chronic back issues.
Oh.
So I couldn't play without being in a lot of pain. So I quit playing for 4 years. But before that, I was really into jazz, flute, but of all the classical styles that I liked, I loved Baroque the most, I would say. And then Russian compositions were I was a huge fan of those.
Okay.
Like Tchaikovsky and the other ones.
And the other
The other guys.
Yeah. I was about to say Tchaikovsky and
there's definitely other ones.
Yeah.
But it's blanking. I'm bad with names, so.
Oh yeah.
I didn't study. I should have brought my cue cards in.
I mean, I didn't. I literally wrote this like while I was waiting for you. Like I just have like a couple like notes of things I really like felt like when I was listening to your music.
Yeah.
Also, the reveal at the end of the EP.
Yeah.
So good. I'm not gonna spoil it. You're gonna have to listen to it. But no, that was
Thank you.
Just really, really raw shit too.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I had a lot to process.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like a lot of it for me, this whole journey as a musician, which I feel like a lot of artists and I don't know if you've listened to Kendrick's new album.
I listened to that on the way up here too.
Okay,
well.
cool. Yeah, I feel like I was like really resonating with a lot of what he was saying in his project of around just like how much like growth and processing happens through the music, and I've always heard about it, and I feel like I've always heard artists talk about this, but I feel like a lot of my last project was me just trying to make peace with feelings. Like I was raised in a pretty like non-emotional household. Like showing feelings is not very normal, and I think I actually was a very emotional person, and so and I am a very emotional person, and I think when feelings would come up, I would like feel scared or like angry or annoyed that I was experiencing those feelings. And I think a lot of my journey until now has just been like, oh, it's okay. Like it's actually so chill. If anything, like I've been shocked by this. It's like it's actually kind of beautiful being able to feel so much. And so like after that project, like it literally was the first time in my life where I actually felt like excited to feel things instead of just deeply dreading it.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, it really was like a therapy session for me, just making the project. Like it's very real and for me. Yeah.
It's definitely how it reads. How do you, I mean, especially with a track like Anger.
Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. Yeah.
So visceral. So like raw.
Yeah.
So how do you cultivate that space to allow yourself to get to that and like get on the track and do that?
Yeah, I mean, that one was actually so interesting, making that one, because I went into the EP knowing, like before I even made a song on it, I knew it was going to be called Pandora's Box, and I knew every song would be an emotion I was afraid to express to the world, and I knew I wanted to make a song about anger. And so I like, the other songs kind of came pretty quickly, it wasn't too hard, but I actually had another version of Anger that was like half decent. My vocals were on it, and it just didn't feel angry. Like it actually felt chill. I was like, why? No, this can't be chill. Like I have to be angry on the song, like that's the whole point. And then
this isn't Summertime again.
This is exactly like stop chilling. And I don't know what it is. Like I would love to figure out something, but it just feels like every time I sing, like my energy shifts. Like it becomes very calm, very, or just it can be maybe a bit angsty, but never. It doesn't have that type of energy.
I resonate with that.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, well I don't really want to make a different vocal sound. So I was like, okay, well. And then I'd been listening to Sophie, if you know Sophie. Yeah, so like incredible producer, and I've been listening to her, and I was like, like I was like, let me just mess around, like let me make a track, whatever. And then it like came to me like all of a sudden, like, and I was like, oh my God. And like, I just wrote it pretty quickly in like a bout of like inspiration. And yeah. And I realized I was like, oh, yeah, this always had to be like this. Like, for me, the flute's my energetic voice, and then the vocals is more my chill voice. It's something that I want to keep on playing with. But yeah, I just do like months. This is like months over the course of a couple months of like wanting to make the song. It just kind of came to me at one point.
It's so funny too. You don't think of a flute as an angry instrument, and yet
exactly.
you channel so much.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea why. Honestly, it's like it just kind of happens. Yeah.
And it's funny you spoke about chronic pain, like.
Yeah.
And then when I think of classical training, I also think of, I mean, to a degree, sort of subjugating ourselves to this like white supremacist ideal of like what Western music is.
Yeah.
And the positions that we have to hold and like the mannerisms of it. Do you think that was like a physical manifestation of you butting up against like this ideal that like we will never be able to truly like conform to?
Yeah. Ooh, I like that. I think a lot of the way I play flute is rebellion. Like I was so annoyed with my classical training and how stiff it was and how like I think a lot of people, they were very judgy, and I think a lot of my flute playing has just been pretty explicit, like rebellion against that.
And it's funny because like there's songs like that, right? Like Anger and like Lentikite for like example of that. That feel very much like main character chase scene in a video game energy.
Yeah.
Like that's, I just put that on like on the highway and it's like but then also you have like you're much more reserved, much more calm, but like just as emotive stuff, right? Like Unlovable.
That's why I'm unlovable. I'm unholdable. I'm disposable.
Where does your vocal style come from? Where does that?
Yeah, I mean, that's also a whole other journey. I think a lot of me growing up, I loved Amy Winehouse so much, and I still do. I love her. She's amazing. And I think a lot of me wanted to sound like Amy Winehouse. I wanted to sound like Lauryn Hill, and I think I like realized as I was singing, I was like, it's just. I want to be, like, I think around 21, 22, I was like, I want to be me, you know? Like, I want to develop a sound that's me, and I feel like that's just been the sound that has felt the best to me. Like, as I've recorded, I was like, I just love the texture that my voice is able to give with that energy, you know?
It's so lovely.
Yeah, so it's pretty much it. I just was like, I like the sound of it, and I mean, I'm still currently on a journey, honestly, of, like, trying to expand my voice and expand what I can do with it, and I mean, in the song Sensuality, it's like, there's, like, a really high note. Right, so like that was me kind of exploring like, okay, how does it feel for me to try to do these more ambitious vocal sounds, right? So just always exploring, but at the end of the day, like trying to be me. Like NOAMZ is NOAMZ. I'm not anyone else. That's just me. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, sick. And then I mean I'm thinking of as well. What else? What is this? Oh, like is it Summer Again? Summertime Again?
Summer Again?
Summer Again.
Yeah.
Summer Again. That's what I said it wrong earlier. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
But like the way you repeat again, like again, again. I feel like that's a really like non-native English speaker's approach to a syllable, like using that syllable. Like I don't hear that very often. It feels very like this is someone who obviously speaks multiple languages and like is approaching English from a different point of view, maybe. Would you say you're intentionally crafting a space for like other people with a mixed experience?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Go, if that's yeah, take it away, please.
Yeah, 100%. I think a lot of I would say like my core suffering in my life has just been around not belonging anywhere. And I think that's why musically it's like I can't pick, right? Because it's just like my life. Like I can't pick a side, you know? Am I Guadeloupean? Am I French? Am I American? Am I, you know, like it's just, at the end of the day, I'm everything and nothing, you know? And I think like I would love through my music to, like create a sense of peace for people that don't feel like they belong anywhere. It's like, no, you belong with me. You can hang out with me. I like you. You know, let's vibe it out. You know, but yeah, definitely. I think, yes, I think that's why I try to stay true to my diversity in sounds too. I think subconsciously, probably, I'm just like, yeah, well, who cares if I don't fully belong in soul music or hip hop music? It's like I've never belonged in anything. Like, who cares? You know, like I'll just be me. You know.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.